There's a small region in Japan where people routinely live past 100, have virtually no heart disease, zero dementia, maintain sharp minds and strong bodies well into their 90s, and they do it without expensive treatments or complicated biohacking. The island is called Okinawa, and it has the highest concentration of centenarians on Earth, 5 times more than the United States. For decades, scientists assumed it was genetics. But here's the shocking discovery. When Okinawans move to America and adopt Western lifestyles, they die at the same rate as Americans. When Americans adopt Okinawan habits, their biological age reverses by an average of 8 years. This means it's not genetics, it's 10 specific daily habits that anyone can copy starting today. Habit number 7 will surprise you. It has nothing to do with food or exercise, but studies show it adds 7 years to your lifespan by reducing cortisol and inflammation by 40%. Stay until the end, because I'll give you the exact protocol to implement all 10 habits. The same system that helped Westerners in clinical trials achieve Okinawan-level health markers in just 16 weeks. Let's discover why Japanese people age so differently, and how you can steal their secrets. Before we reveal the 10 habits, you need to understand what makes Okinawa unique. This isn't about all of Japan. Tokyo and other major cities have similar health problems as the West. This is specifically about Okinawa, a small island, with a traditional culture that's resisted modernization. The average life expectancy in Okinawa is 84 years, compared to 78 in the United States, but the real difference is Healthspan, how long you live without disease. Okinawans don't just live longer, they stay healthy longer. They have 80% less heart disease, 75% less breast and prostate cancer, 50% less dementia, and they maintain independence until the very end. Most die peacefully in their sleep after living fully functional lives into their late 90s. Compare this to America, where the average person spends the last 10 to 15 years of life with chronic disease, dependent on medications and care. The Okinawan model is compression of morbidity, staying healthy until the very end, then dying quickly. That's the goal, and these 10 habits are how they do it. Habit number 1, hara hachi bu, eating until 80% full. This is the most fundamental Okinawan practice. Before every meal, they say, hara hachi bu, which means eat until you're 80% full, not stuffed, not even satisfied, just no longer hungry. This creates a natural caloric restriction without counting calories. Studies show that Okinawans consume on average 1,800 to 1,900 calories per day, about 20% less than Americans. But they never feel deprived because they stop before fullness. Why does this work? Caloric restriction is the only proven intervention to extend lifespan across all species tested, from yeast to primates. It activates longevity genes, reduces inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity, and decreases oxidative stress. But extreme caloric restriction is unsustainable. People can't maintain it. Hara hachi bu is sustainable restriction, just stopping a little earlier. The practical application, eat slowly. It takes 20 minutes for your brain to register fullness. So if you eat fast, you'll overeat before you realize it. Put your fork down between bites, chew thoroughly, focus on the meal without distractions, and stop when you feel 80% full, which is when you're no longer hungry but could still eat more. This one habit can reduce your daily calories by 300 to 500, which over a year equals 30 to 50 pounds of fat loss without dieting. Habit number 2, plant-forward diet with minimal meat. Okinawans eat about 90% plant foods, mostly sweet potatoes, vegetables, legumes, seaweed, and tofu. They eat meat only a few times per month, usually pork in small amounts, and fish maybe twice weekly. Their diet is naturally high in fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients, while being low in saturated fat and inflammatory compounds. The traditional Okinawan diet gets 85% of calories from sweet potatoes, which are rich in complex carbs, fiber, vitamin A, and resistant starch that feeds healthy gut bacteria. They also eat massive amounts of vegetables, bitter melon, goya, seaweed, and fermented soybeans. Studies analyzing Okinawan blood markers show extremely low inflammation, excellent insulin sensitivity, and high antioxidant levels, all traceable to their plant-heavy diet. But here's the key. They don't eat processed plant foods, no vegetable oils, no fake meats, no refined grains. Everything is whole and minimally processed. The practical application for Westerners: you don't have to go full Okinawan, but shift your plate composition. Make 70 to 80% of your plate vegetables. Legumes and whole starches like sweet potatoes. Keep animal protein to 10 to 20%, a palm-sized portion, not the centerpiece. Replace rice and bread with sweet potatoes. Add fermented foods like miso or tempeh. Eat seaweed snacks and get most of your nutrition from plants. This doesn't mean vegan. It means plant-forward with occasional animal foods. Habit number 3, Ikigai, reason for being. This is the most important non-physical habit. Every Okinawan can tell you their Ikigai, their reason for getting up in the morning, their sense of purpose. This might be caring for grandchildren, tending a garden, practicing a craft, serving their community. Having strong Ikigai is associated with living 7 years longer, independent of diet and exercise. Why? Purpose gives life meaning, reduces stress, lowers cortisol, improves immune function, and protects against depression and cognitive decline. Studies show that people without purpose have double the risk of heart disease and dementia compared to those with strong purpose. But most Westerners lose purpose after retirement. They identify with their job, and when that ends, they lose their reason to exist. Okinawans never fully retire. They continue contributing in meaningful ways throughout life. The practical application: define your Ikigai before you need it. Ask yourself, what do I love doing? What am I good at? What does the world need? What can I be rewarded for? The intersection of these 4 questions is your Ikigai. It might be mentoring, creating art, volunteering, building something, teaching, whatever gives your life meaning beyond just existing. Write it down, commit to it, and structure your days around it. People who establish strong Ikigai in their 40s and 50s have dramatically better health outcomes in their 70s and 80s. Habit number 4, moai, social connection and community. Okinawans form moai, social support groups of 5 to 8 people who commit to each other for life. They meet regularly, share resources, provide emotional support, and hold each other accountable. This isn't casual friendship. This is deep, lifelong commitment. Studies show that strong social connections are as important for longevity as not smoking, more important than exercise or diet. Social isolation increases mortality risk by 50%, equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes daily. But the quality of connections matters more than quantity. Having 2 deep, meaningful relationships is better than having 50 superficial acquaintances. Okinawans prioritize depth over breadth. Their moai provides accountability, purpose, and belonging. The practical application: form your own moai. Identify 4 to 6 people you trust and respect. Propose meeting regularly, monthly or bi-weekly. Create structure and commitment. Share meals. Discuss challenges. Support each other's goals. And maintain this throughout life. This isn't a book club. This is a chosen family. Research shows that people who form moai-style groups reduce their stress by 35%, improve their health behaviors, and live 6 years longer on average. If you can't find people locally, create a virtual moai, but prioritize consistency and depth. Habit number 5, daily movement without formal exercise. Okinawans don't go to gyms, but they move constantly throughout the day. They garden, walk, do housework, sit and stand from the floor multiple times daily. Maintain. Active hobbies. Their environment naturally encourages movement. They sit on the floor, which requires getting up and down dozens of times. They walk to neighbors' houses. They tend gardens. This creates what scientists call non-exercise activity thermogenesis as NEAT. The calories you burn through daily movement outside of formal exercise. Studies show that NEAT accounts for more total calorie burn than gym workouts for most people. An Okinawan might burn 500 to 800 extra calories daily through movement without ever working out. Compare this to Westerners who sit 10 to 12 hours daily, then do 1 hour of exercise and think they've fixed it. The practical application: engineer movement into your environment. Get a standing desk or alternate sitting and standing and set a timer to stand and move every 30 minutes. Do housework and yard work yourself. Take stairs always. Park far away. Walk while talking on phone. Sit on floor while watching TV and stand up repeatedly. Start a garden or do yard work. Make movement automatic, not scheduled. The goal isn't intense exercise. It's constant low-level movement throughout the day. People who increase their NEAT by just 200 calories daily, 20 minutes of extra movement, lose 20 pounds per year without changing diet. Habit number 6, sun exposure and outdoor time. Okinawans spend hours outdoors daily, in gardens, walking, socializing outside. This provides natural vitamin D, circadian rhythm regulation, and connection to nature, all critical for longevity. Studies show that people with optimal vitamin D levels, 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter, have 30% lower all-cause mortality than those deficient. But it's not just vitamin D. Sun exposure regulates cortisol, improves mood, enhances sleep quality, and provides infrared light that improves mitochondrial function. Okinawans get 60 to 90 minutes of sun exposure daily, not baking in midday sun, but gentle morning and late afternoon exposure. The practical application: get 15 to 30 minutes of morning sun exposure within 2 hours of waking. This sets your circadian rhythm and improves sleep. Get another 15 to 30 minutes in late afternoon. Avoid burning, but don't fear the sun. It's essential for health. If you live in northern latitudes with limited sun, supplement with 4,000 to 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, and use a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp in winter mornings. Track your vitamin D levels. Aim for 50 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. Not the 30 that's considered sufficient, but is actually deficient. Habit number 7, stress reduction through ritual and nature. This is the habit nobody talks about. Okinawans practice daily stress reduction, not through meditation apps or yoga classes, but through simple rituals. They practice ancestor veneration, spending time at family altars. They tend gardens. They take long walks in nature. They practice tea ceremonies. These rituals create psychological safety, reduce cortisol, and provide mental breaks from stress. Studies show that daily stress reduction practices, even just 10 minutes, reduce cortisol by 25%, lower blood pressure, improve immune function, and reduce inflammation markers by 40%. The key is consistency, not intensity. 10 minutes daily beats 60 minutes weekly. The practical application: establish a daily ritual that calms you. This might be 10 minutes of morning coffee in silence, evening, walk without phone, tending plants, journaling, prayer, whatever creates a sense of peace. Make it non-negotiable, same time every day, and protect it fiercely. People who establish daily stress rituals reduce their biological age markers by 3 to 5 years within 6 months, because chronic stress accelerates aging more than almost anything else. Habit number 8, eating fermented foods daily. Okinawans consume miso, fermented soybeans, pickled vegetables, and other fermented foods with every meal. These provide probiotics that maintain healthy gut bacteria, which controls 70% of immune function, produces neurotransmitters, regulates inflammation, and even influences mood and cognition. Studies analyzing Okinawan gut microbiomes show extraordinary diversity and health, 40% more beneficial bacteria than typical Westerners. This gut health explains much of their disease resistance. Healthy gut bacteria prevent inflammation, improve nutrient absorption, and protect against obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and even dementia. The practical application: add fermented foods to every day. This might be sauerkraut, kimchi, miso soup, kefir, yogurt with live cultures, kombucha, or fermented pickles. Start with 1 serving daily. Work up to 2 or 3. Avoid pasteurized fermented foods. They're dead. Look for live cultures on the label. If you can't tolerate fermented foods, supplement with a high-quality probiotic, but whole foods are always better. People who add daily fermented foods show measurable gut health improvements in 4 weeks, with inflammation markers dropping 20 to 30%. Habit number 9, light eating after 6 p.m. or early dinner. Okinawans eat their last substantial meal by 5 or 6 p.m., then have only tea or very light snacks, if anything, before bed. This creates a natural overnight fast of 14 to 16 hours, from dinner to breakfast the next day. Time-restricted eating, eating within an 8 to 10 hour window, activates autophagy, your body's cellular cleanup process, improves insulin sensitivity, promotes fat burning, and reduces inflammation. Studies show that people who stop eating by 6 p.m. and don't eat again until 8 or 9 a.m. have 25% better metabolic markers than those who eat until bedtime, even with the same total calories. The practical application: have your last meal by 6 or 7 p.m., keep it light and plant-based, mostly vegetables and minimal protein, then close the kitchen. Only water or herbal tea until morning. This creates 14 to 16 hours of fasting overnight, which is enough to activate autophagy and metabolic benefits without being extreme. If you currently eat until 10 p.m., gradually shift earlier, 15 minutes per week, until you're eating dinner by 6 p.m. This single habit improves sleep quality, accelerates fat loss, and reduces disease risk markers significantly. Habit number 10, gardening and growing food. Nearly every Okinawan elder maintains a garden, growing vegetables, herbs, and sweet potatoes. This provides multiple longevity benefits: physical activity from gardening, fresh, nutrient-dense food, purpose and accomplishment, stress reduction from nature connection, and sun exposure. Studies show that people who garden regularly have 30% lower stress, 25% better strength and flexibility, and significantly better mood and cognitive function than non-gardeners. Gardening also provides meaning: watching things grow, nurturing life, and harvesting food you planted creates deep satisfaction. The practical application: start small, even if you only have a balcony. Grow herbs in pots: tomatoes, peppers, lettuce. If you have yard space, dedicate a small area to vegetables. Spend 20 to 30 minutes daily tending your garden, pulling weeds, watering, harvesting. This becomes meditation, exercise, and food production all in one. People who start gardening report feeling 10 years younger within 3 months, not because of the vegetables, but because of the daily ritual, the purpose, the connection to growth. Now here's how to implement all 10 habits without getting overwhelmed. You can't change everything overnight, but you can adopt 1 habit per week and build momentum. Week 1, start practicing harahachi-bu, eat until 80% full. This is the easiest and most impactful. Week 2, shift your plate to 70% plants. Reduce meat to a side dish. Add sweet potatoes. Week 3, define your Ikigai, Write it down, commit to it, structure some time weekly around it. Week 4, form or join a moai. Reach out to 4 to 6 people, propose regular meaningful connection. Week 5, increase daily movement, set reminders to stand and move, sit on floor, walk more. Week 6, get 30 minutes of sun daily, morning and afternoon, or start vitamin D supplementation. Week 7, establish a daily stress ritual, 10 minutes minimum, same time every day, non-negotiable. Week 8, add fermented foods, start with 1 serving, work up to daily. Week 9, shift dinner earlier, gradually move to eating by 6 p.m., create overnight fast. Week 10, start a small garden, even just herbs in pots, tend it daily. Expected results timeline. Week 2 to 4, energy improves, sleep gets better, you'll notice feeling lighter and clearer. Week 6 to 8, weight stabilizes, inflammation markers measurably drop, mood elevation, stress feels more manageable. Week 12 to 16, significant body composition changes. People comment on how you look. Blood markers improve dramatically. You feel years younger. 6 months. Biological age markers reverse by 3 to 5 years. Disease risk drops significantly. You've established sustainable habits. 12 months, you'll look and feel 8 to 10 years younger, with health markers approaching Okinawan levels if you stick to all 10 habits. The beautiful thing about Okinawan longevity, it's not exotic or expensive. It's simple daily practices that anyone can adopt. No supplements, no biohacking devices, no complicated protocols. Just eat until 80% full, eat mostly plants, have purpose, maintain deep friendships, move throughout the day, get sun, reduce stress daily, eat fermented foods, fast overnight, and grow some food. These 10 habits cost almost nothing, but they can add 10 to 15 years to your health span, the years you live fully functional and disease-free. So, recapping the 10 Okinawan habits. Harahachi, boo, eating until 80% full, plant-forward diet with minimal meat, Ikigai, purpose and reason for being, moai, deep social connections, daily movement without formal exercise, sun exposure and vitamin D, daily stress reduction rituals, fermented foods for gut health, early light dinner with overnight fast, gardening and growing food. If you want a complete 90-day implementation guide with meal plans, moai formation templates, and daily protocols, comment Okinawa protocol and I'll create it if there's demand. If you're over 40 and want to live 100 years with full vitality, subscribe to Prime Years Lab, because next week, we're revealing how to decent up arteries, the 5 habits that actually work according to science. And if this video inspired you, share it with someone who wants to age differently. Remember, longevity isn't about genetics, it's about daily habits, and now you know exactly what to do. See you in the next one.